Morning folks, Mike here from Walk Talk Brew. This morning I am reviewing the Bushcraft Essentials Bushbox XL Titanium. It's a product I've been using for about a year or so now. I'm just going to share what I really love about it and a couple of things that I dislike about it. So the Bushcraft Essentials are a German company. It's not massively heavy, it only weighs 540 grams when it comes in the pouch, which looks like this. And out the pouch it weighs 490 grams and it looks like that there. Now what I really love about the Bushcraft Essentials products are the design build. They're just very well built. The company, they kind of thought of everything when they actually built the product. So even from the case, it's made of a really thick nylon, so it's very tough. They've even added straps at the back, so you can wear this on your belt. They have a D-ring, so you can attach it to a carabiner on your rucksack, or like I do, I just put it in my rucksack to go. So it's just well thought out. Even just simple things like the case, well thought out. What you get in the pack then, in the case, is you also get the Bushbox itself. On the Bushbox there are 2 trivets, and these come off really easily. And these then can be used in a number of different ways, which I'll show you in a second. And then you also get with it a small grill plate. And I also bought an extra large grill plate just so I can cook bigger pieces of meat or grill bigger pieces of meat. So this is quite lightweight compared to other wood burning stoves. Coming in at only 490 grams. It's just over half the weight of the steel version of the Bushbox XL steel. And it's a lot lighter than some of the other other wood burning stoves that are available online. So it's quite light, really. It's not one of the heavier ones out there. It's really easy to put up. I mean, it is really easy to put up. It's literally a concertina, and it just opens up on hinges, and these are all integral hinges. And from there, internally, you have an ashtray, which is that there, and that just folds down into place. And then on the other side is you have a grill plate up here. So drop the ashtray back into place, and then the grill plate falls down, and that's it. Nothing fiddly. It's ready to go, ready to cook with. The trivets at the top, they fit into purpose-built slots up here, and what that enables you to do is you can then put on a cup or a pan to heat over the flame. So again, it's all built in, very well thought out. At the front you have, or at the side here, you have a set of holes on each side, and you have the same on the opposite side. And what this is, you can put the trivets through any one of these, and that enables you then to put a Trangia stove in there. It'll sit on the trivets, and then it's elevated to cook whatever you're going to cook. So again, very well thought out bit of kit. So it's like, can be used as a Trangia stove, can be used as a wood burner. Now, being honest, I've only ever used it as a wood burner, but obviously you can use it as a Trangia stove. What I like about it is the fact that the ashtray and the grill plate are actually elevated, or the ashtray and grate are elevated here, is that when you're cooking outside, you're not scorching the earth. So if you have an open fire, you're going to leave damage on the ground. So with this, you can cook away, and you're not leaving any impact on the soil underneath you. So for me, that's something that is important, and I do really appreciate the fact that you can cook like that without leaving any kind of mess. There's loads of air vents around the product. So there's air vents all the way across here. Obviously you've got the air vents with the trivet at the back. You've got a big air vent there, air vents all the way, air vents, just loads and loads and loads of air vents. There's loads of space underneath for air to get under. And at the front, you have a very large opening where you can feed your wood into, and again, more air vents there. So what I found once I've been out and I've actually collected wood, processed wood, got it ready, and got a fire on the go, that this produces a lot of heat very, very quickly. And one of the reasons why it does that is its chimney design effect. So because all the heat is being pushed upwards or radiated upwards, no heat or very little heat can escape from the sides. The manufacturers claim it produces something like 500 degrees centigrade of heat. I don't necessarily know if that's true or not, but I do know that it is very, very hot when you're cooking with it. So it's a great, great, great little bit of kit. What else? Well, I have found that using this, it's more economical burning wood, or wood burns slower using it. So you get more heat for the amount of wood you're using, as opposed to using wood on an open fire. So that's very, very good. And also, when you finish cooking with it, when everything's burnt away, it's titanium. So it cools down really, really quickly. I mean, we're talking a couple of minutes here, and you can fold it up, pack it away. And to fold it up, again, it's so quick, so easy to fold up. It's literally just hold the ashtray at the bottom, let the grill hang or fold away, let that fold away, and it just collapses in on itself. And that's it. You're ready to go. So well designed. So again, you can put it back in your rucksack, in the case, attach the case to a carabiner on your rucksack or on your belt kit. So just very, very well thought out. In terms of the actual grills on top, they again just sit into, let's get this one over, the small grill plate. So at the top here, there are holes, slots there and there, and they're the same on the other side. And the small grill plate just literally just fits on top. So really, really easy, just so quick. Only downside, these are steel, so they do take a little bit longer to cool down. So, you know, I always take gloves with me, leather gloves, so keep myself safe. The extra large grill plate, again, sits on top exactly the same way, in the same holes, but you can see it's just a little bit bigger, so it just overhangs the edges. So if you're cooking a bigger bit of meat, bit of steak or chicken or whatever, it gives you that bigger surface. And again, I suppose the benefit here is because it is steel, the heat is kind of dissipated out evenly when you're cooking over coals inside. So it's just a very, very well thought out, well designed, well built bit of kit. Now, before I go on about what I dislike about the product, I'm just going to ask if you guys could either leave a comment or like the video, or even better, subscribe to the channel, and I'll explain why. I don't want to talk about this now, but I'll explain why at the end of the video. There's some personal reasons why this is important, and just really appreciate any kind of feedback. And ultimately, if you guys could like or subscribe, it would be brilliant. So, what's to dislike about it? Well, not much, if I'm honest with you. The only big thing that I dislike is the price. I mean, the Bushbox XL Titanium comes in at £130. So, you know, it's expensive. If you get the extra large grate with it, that's another £17.95. So, you know, the kit I have is just shy of £150. You know, that's a lot of money. That is an awful lot of money for what it is. That's my opinion anyway. What else do I dislike about it? And this isn't necessarily indicative of the Bushbox itself, but cooking an open flame, you can't control the heat. So what I found using it is, for one person, this is a great bit of kit. You can easily get a fire on the go very quickly, get a lot of heat on the go. When you've got wood in there initially, you're getting loads of big flames, a bit of smoke. So if you've got your trivets on top and you've got a pan on there and you're boiling water or heating food in the pan, that's great. If you're going to cook meat, you obviously want the flames to die down and to be cooking on embers. And this is where I found a little bit of a challenge with it, is that if you're cooking meat for one person, you can cook it, it takes 25, maybe 30 minutes to cook it properly. And it works, and it's brilliant, and I love it. However, if you're out with two of you, you can cook one big bit of meat or a couple of small pieces of meat, but then you're having to put more wood inside. And as soon as you do that, you're creating flame and you're creating smoke, so you can't cook on it, or you can't grill meat on it. So then you're having to wait for the meat, for the flames and the smoke to die down before you can grill meat the second time round. And that is a bit of a, it's not a dislike, but it's a bit of a pain sometimes. It just adds a little bit more time to actually sitting down and eating when maybe you want to be up and moving again. So they're the only real things that I actually dislike about it. Price being the big thing. And the second thing, it just takes a bit of time to cook for two people. So kind of my final thoughts on the Bushbox are this, is would I take it with me if I was going hiking or wild camping? And the answer, well, no, I wouldn't. And the reason being is we're often out in the wintertime, and we might be up in the mountains, like the Sperrin Mountains here in Northern Ireland, and quite often the weather's not great. There might be snow on the ground, the wind's blowing around you, and the last thing you want to be doing is having to go and find wood and get it ready to start a fire. You just want to sit down and cook straight away. I have a little Vango folding gas stove, weighs only 49 grams, so even with the gas canister, it's still lighter than this, and it means I can get food on the go pretty quickly. Now, I love this bit of kit. I do love cooking outside with it, and this is the problem. So if I'm outside doing bushcraft activities, this is brilliant. I do love it because I'm not carrying as much kit and I'm not walking as far. So I do love it. The joy, the sense of satisfaction, the mindfulness element of finding wood, of processing that wood, of creating a fire naturally, of cooking food, obviously not gone hunting or killed anything, but the food you've taken with you, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And for that reason, and that reason alone, I do think it's worth the money because of what it gives me. Not in terms of that, but in terms of my mental state, my peace of mind. It's just a mindful, lovely activity. So I do really think it's worth it. It gives me a lot of joy, a lot of pleasure. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the Bushbox XL Titanium to anyone to give it a go. Obviously you can try other variants out there. All I'm going to say is if you do it, keep yourselves in a wood or in a forest where you've got resources that you can actually burn. But yeah, it's a great bit of kit. So earlier on, I asked if you would leave a message or like the video, or even better, subscribe to the channel. And here's why. So back in 2019, I was diagnosed with chronic stress and basically burnt out. I was just burnt out. I was in a rough state mentally. I felt suicidal. Those thoughts kind of occupied my mind pretty much on a daily basis, pretty much all the time on a daily basis. And I came very close one morning to actually acting out on what was in my head. It was a horrible time. And I remember going to the doctor the week then that I nearly acted out on this. And I remember sitting down with him, and he asked me, what's wrong? And I just said, I just feel broken. I feel empty. I just feel, I felt that I had, just, I was constantly in pain, and not physical pain, but it's like mental anguish, mental torment. And it was just, it was just flipping. It was horrible. It wasn't a nice time at all, and it took its toll, on family and stuff as well. It was just work-related stuff that just shouldn't have happened. Anyway, I'm no longer working with those individuals anymore, which is fantastic. And the offshot of all this is that the doctor was brilliant, and I managed to get counselling. And the counsellor she was incredible. I won't say she saved my life, but maybe she actually has. Maybe she did, I don't know. But I'm still here, so yeah, she probably has done. Anyway, so she was brilliant, and I sat down with her. We had a number of different sessions, and she was great. And she really helped me understand what was going on, of how my mind was processing information, and how I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And she kind of pointed out things I should be doing, or helped me uncover the truths that I should be doing, or what I should be doing for myself. And one of the things is, I've always loved being outside in nature. Let's just go for walks. And so Catherine, my partner, and I, we started going off for little walks to begin with, and those walks then became a little bit longer and a bit more adventurous. And as they became longer and more adventurous, we ended up going, just walking and talking. And then, we took a packed lunch and a cup of a flask. So then it became walk, talk, brew. And that was kind of the seed of the idea behind walk, talk, brew, was just what we were doing. It was just literally going for a walk, talking about anything and everything, nothing specific, and then going somewhere and sitting down and having a brew. And that then became this idea of positivity, which is corny now as I say it on camera. But it was just this thing of just sitting down with a cup of tea and just feeling, just nothing to distract you. You can just feel relaxed, calm, and just in the moment. And those are things I hadn't felt for such a long time. I think I became, not obsessed, I became interested in the land around us and the people around us, and the people who had walked on these hills and to these monuments, hundreds and thousands of years ago. Who were they? What were they? And I started taking pictures and videos and sharing them online. And then that kind of came the essence of Walk, Talk, Brew, because people were asking about it. So then we ended up creating the YouTube channel, eventually YouTube channel, but first then we had Facebook and Instagram. And people just liked to see the photographs, the videos of what we put up. And people asked why we were doing it. And I'm honest now to say, it's for my mental health, for my physical health. And I've got to say now that my mental health and physical health are vastly different to what they were, 3 years ago. It's a brilliant transformation. So as the benefits to my mental health grew, we then had people asking, can we come with you? Can we join you on a walk? And it was like, well, yeah. And that's just grown over time now. We've also been asked then to go and speak with other people and to share kind of the story behind Walk, Talk, Brew, my story, and what it's meant to me and how it's changed me and how it can change other people. And then this is over time then has grown to include wild camping, and then even the bushcraft skills. And these are skills that I learnt as a kid growing up in West Wales with my grandparents and local farmers. And the things that I'd forgotten over time. And it's brilliant now to reconnect with some of these things. So the culmination of this then led to, well, how can we help other people, how can we do it in a way where we can take people out and we can get into the forest, we can have permission to be in the forest, we can do all the things the right way and teach people, you know, map reading, just go walking, some bushcraft skills, wild camping, whatever it is that they need just to help with their mental health. And we eventually then, we set up a company, or a community interest company, I should say, which is a not-for-profit organisation with the sole benefit being people in the community who need that kind of help. So that became live this month, November. And now then, what we're looking at is how can we use YouTube as a way where we can create a bit of money if we can get enough subscribers. And this is where you guys come in, is if you can subscribe, like, leave messages, it helps our page get found. And then as we get found, then if we can generate revenue, once we hopefully become a YouTube partner, is any money generated from that will go directly to the company, to the community interest company, to fund programs, to buy kit and to help other people. And this is what it has become for me, is it's being outside in nature, going for walks, talking, doing mindful activities like just lighting a fire, or even just getting, you know, materials using silver birch or fat wood or punk wood, and the resources you can find on the ground or around you to make a fire and to get to turn an ember into a flame into a fire, and then to start cooking. Those things are brilliant, and to be able to share that with other people to help them improve their mental state, their wellness, their physical health. That has to be what this is all about. It's got to be about helping other people. And I just find the nature, countryside, wildlife, forest, it's just brilliant. So if you guys can, if you're still watching the video, I'd love it if you can leave a message. This isn't perfect, I'm not perfect, so any feedback won't be taken as negative. It's just learning. How can I be better? How can I do better? How can I help more people? And if you guys can, if you can subscribe, like, leave messages, it would be brilliant. I really appreciate that. So thank you for watching. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.